Hello and welcome back to my channel, Soap Fam. Welcome to my studio and another day of making things. For those curious as to how these bath bombs dried, they dried great, even though this bath bomb, my Cascadia bath bombs, look a little rough. They are pretty solid and they formed a ball, which is the most important thing. I had some few clumps of unmixed or water that was not mixed into the mix very well. So you got these like little warts here that you can smooth down. Like I just removed that one right there. Can I remove this one just by pushing at it? Yeah, just pushed it off and it's smooth again. But that's what was going on with this one. The patchouli lime bath bombs dried perfectly, and same with the coffee bath bombs, which look so beautiful and smell just amazing. They're still stuck in here. I can't pop them out too easily, so I'm going to let them continue drying until they can come out without any force like these guys. It's been a pretty wet couple of days here in Washington, so I'm not surprised that the bath bombs are still a little damp. But when it comes to drying bath bombs, always wait until the bath bomb is completely dry before taking them out of the tray or handling them too much, because otherwise you could be breaking them before they're dry enough to be handled. So we are making two things today. I'm going to be making my coconut canopy lip balms, and I'm going to be making some shower steamers. I really want to add shower steamers to my line because it is probably one of my most requested items that I have never sold on my website before, but people keep asking me about it. So I'm testing out a recipe today, and if it goes well, then you might see some shower steamers on Quench Bear's website as of 2024. So this is very exciting. I have made shower steamers before and they've turned out pretty good, but I like to try different things to get myself closer to the ideal recipe. So this is a recipe that I haven't tried yet. Fingers crossed it'll go well, but we'll see. Okay, so I brought out all my ingredients. The first step though is to dissolve the menthol crystals. And I do this first because it usually takes a while. One way you can make this process go by faster is to crush the crystals into very tiny particles so that it dissolves in this case, the alcohol better. I think I used essential oils to dissolve the menthol crystals in previous batches, but I'm gonna try doing it in some alcohol this time. So I'm using menthol crystals, and this is what gives the shower steamers their potency. Now you can make shower steamers without menthol crystals, but it won't be as sharp. And a lot of people use shower steamers so that it could help clear their sinuses, or I can't really claim that with a shower steamer product, then it's considered a drug, but that's what people feel when they use it. And the trick to that is the menthol crystals. But if you're just using a shower steamer just to fill your shower with some really great aroma, you can do that with essential oils and fragrance oils. It just won't be as sharp, I guess is what I'm trying to say. And these menthol crystals look like pieces of glass. They're so pretty. I'll give you guys a closer look in just a bit. This is what those crystals look like. Literally like shards of glass. And what I'm going to do is put them into a bag. And there's other ways of doing this. You could probably throw it into a Ninja that you have just for making skincare products and not for your food. And just grind it up, or any type of grinder will be good to get these small. But if you want to be simple like me, then you just give a bit of a shake. What you've got is a fine, fine powder, and you keep going until it feels really, really soft. I like to stop about here where it just looks like a bag full of powder. So I'm gonna add this to the isopropyl alcohol. Oh, it smells so good already. I love that menthol scent. And I'm just gonna give it a stir and leave this alone. Let it dissolve over some time, and the crystals should dissolve completely. You can give this a blast in the microwave to speed it up a little bit, and I might do that, but yeah, that's basically it. That's your first step. See how it's like a slurry, like a crystal alcohol slurry? So after giving it a blast in the microwave for 2 15-second blasts, all of the crystals dissolved right into the alcohol and it's completely clear. So we're just going to set that aside and move on to the next step, which is measuring out our baking soda and then cornstarch and cream of tartar. I like to use Arm & Hammer brand for my baking soda. Haven't had any issues using this, but I did have an issue one time when I got citric acid from a horse feed store because I heard that was a great source for getting citric acid because it was so much cheaper than the stuff that I was getting. It didn't work at all. Like the bath bomb did not come together. It was like trying to put together dry sand. It's the worst. So where you get your citric acid matters, I think. Make sure that it says anhydrous and food grade. And I think those are the two most important things. Yeah, and fine. You don't want coarse citric acid. Okay, so baking soda is going in. I currently get my baking soda from Costco. Let me know down below if you get your baking soda cheaper than Costco anywhere else. This has just been my go-to. And then we're gonna add some cornstarch. And this will help harden the shower steamers. You really do want a nice hard shower steamer. Even though they're not going into a bath, you still want them pretty durable when you're shipping it to the customer. Next, add some cream of tartar to further strengthen the shower steamer. So I'm gonna get this going in the mixer for a bit. So I have my essential oil, fragrance oil, and my alcohol and menthol. I'm going to add this to the baking soda, and then I'm going to add my citric acid at the very end, and then we're going to press. That seemed to come together really quick when you compare it to the bath bombs, but yeah, I'll be right back. Okay, so we are now ready to press. This is what the mix looks like. I'm using this square mold from the bath bomb press. And what I've done to make each shower steamer the same weight is weigh the mold, tare it, and then I'm going to fill it until I have 100 grams of mix in the mold. And that way, I'll get the same size shower steamer each time. That's the idea. And I put the piece on top, the plunger piece, or whatever it's called. And I put this into my machine. And then to unmold it, I just flip it upside down, lift up, and then I push up to release the shower steamer. And I handle it from the bottom. And to remove it, I basically just flip it over like that and just leave it on the tray like that. I saw an Instagram post from one of my soap friends, and she was talking about how her reels aren't getting as much reach as they used to, and she was getting frustrated with Instagram because she's not sure what to do now because nothing seems to be getting shown to people. And I had that same exact problem myself. For a while, my posts weren't being shown to anybody, just my own followers. It was like 99% my followers and 1% to non-followers, which means it wasn't getting pushed out to the Explore page at all. And it was like that for a while. And I called it Instagram jail. Just popping it up. And I couldn't figure it out. I wasn't sure what I was doing wrong. And instead of just shrugging my shoulders and thinking it was the algorithm and how it's dumb and I don't know what to do, I started to study what was doing good on Instagram. And I noticed that the posts that got people feeling something, as opposed to the posts selling something, was what people engaged with most. And I think Instagram, like I would say all social media platforms, all Instagram cares about is keeping people on their platform longer. So if someone is scrolling right by your post because they don't really care about it or it doesn't make them feel anything, then Instagram is not going to promote that content. And for a long time, I really did feel like what I was posting was resonating with people. Like I would get confused and thinking to myself, like, I really like this post. How come other people aren't liking this post? And you kind of have to look at your content with a very, very critical eye, like a very honest look. Like put yourself in that Instagram users' shoes. Would you stop scrolling if you saw your content? Like, is there anything about your post that would capture people's attention? And these days, it's not enough just to have a pretty soap. Okay, everyone's posting that. And I found, once I dug deeper into what actually got people to stop scrolling and honed in on the content that people did really care about, that's when I started to see a very marked uptick in my metrics. A really, really big jump. And also not just in the number of people looking at my reels, but the number of non-followers that were finding my page now, because Instagram started to promote me more. And this is a result of posting almost every day. And I know that sounds exhausting, and it is. It's not for the faint of heart, but when you post that much, you really get to see quickly what's working and what's not. And it's a challenge, I know, to try to think of, what do my customers care about? And if you have a brand with some core values, finding that kind of content will be a lot easier for you. So maybe you have to work on your branding. Maybe you have to work on your, what do you call it? Your brand pillars, your brand value pillars. This is a really cool mold. I got this mold from Lee, who is the creator of the Bath Bomb Press, at the conference. I bought it from her. And this is the mold that she demoed a lot of her stuff with. So it's kind of a cool little memento from the conference. She is an awesome person, by the way. Oh, I've met so many cool people in my journey of soap making. Some very awesome, lovely people. This recipe was really interesting to me because it has no water in it. And I'm curious as to whether or not these shower steamers are gonna harden. I'm a little skeptical, but they're coming together pretty good. And when I unmold them off of the platform, they're staying together pretty good. I wonder if it's because of this press. I don't know if this recipe is hand mold friendly. I've had my Instagram account for my Quench Bear company for a while now, at least 3 years, and I've never seen the amount of growth that's happening on that social media page as I do right now. Like, it's taken me 3 years to get the Instagram algorithm to notice me. I don't know if that's encouraging to you guys or depressing, but for me, I don't really care if someone blows up within 6 months. That's their journey, and I have no idea, nor do I have any control as to how that happened, but all I have control over is what I do. And I could get upset that that person is getting a lot of followers very fast, and I'm still here struggling to gain, 1 or 2, or I can be supportive and congratulate them on a really cool achievement and hope that happens to me. But the only way it can happen to me is if I keep going and keep posting, which I did over 3 years, and I'm only just now seeing the benefits of it. I think what I'm trying to say is a lot of this business stuff, it's not easy. It's really tough, and it's an ongoing thing. Like, if something works for you 1 year, it might not work the next year. That's the whole thing about social media, that it changes. It's a constantly evolving, man, come on. Uh-oh. So you have to pay attention to what's working right now, because what's working back then might not work in the future. I never get complacent over anything. If something that I'm doing is working really well, I'm still paying attention. I'm not sleeping on it. Speaking of social media, one social media platform that I've not figured out yet is TikTok. I'll post something and it gets great views, great engagement, and I'll post the exact same thing and it'll get a fraction of the views. I have no idea why. It's very, very mysterious to me. I'm not giving up on it yet, though. That's one of the things that I'm not going to do in 2024 is give up on something. I might give up on it in 2025. But I like to give things time before I throw in the towel. I don't know. I don't know if I've seen it through yet. So many things in my life have happened because I've just let it be. I've just kind of sat back and observed So that's why I'm hesitant to walk away from TikTok, because I know that it works for people. I just have not figured it out yet. I have a steamer here that's 20 grams lighter than the rest of my batch. All right, last steamer, guys. Oh, this one didn't press great. Oh well. Like this part is kind of crumbly. I don't know if you can see that. All right, I'm going to clean up and come back and show you the finished results. So here are the finished steamers, and you can see that they're pretty good. My last two started to get a little crumbled near the edges there, but the first 8 did pretty good. And even though I didn't add any water, these feel pretty solid. Like I can pick it up and they don't crumble in my hands. So that's impressive. Whether or not they'll actually stay this hard, I don't know, but it's very promising so far. And with that, I think I'm gonna close out the vlog. That's it for the video today. If you want the recipe for those shower steamers, which, by the way, hold on, I need to show you something. I pressed these an hour ago and I can hold it with my hand. That's how solid they are. Oh, and they smell so good. Oh my goodness. So if you want the recipe for this amazing shower steamer that sets up pretty well, then you can find that on my Patreon, which is linked down below. And speaking of my Patreon, thank you to my patrons. You guys are amazing. I'm so thankful for you guys, especially my Bubble BFF supporters, these guys right here. Not a day goes by that I am just fascinated that people want to see me succeed so much, and my heart is just so full. So thank you. And thank you to those who gave me so many amazing book recommendations. I am writing a list with all of your suggestions, and hopefully by well into 2024, I will have read most of what you've suggested. Remember, I'm aiming for 2 books a day, so we'll see. I still have to select one. I'll let you guys know what that book is, but that is what I love about this community that I've built here on YouTube and now on Instagram. Our fellow soap makers and fellow humans that just love the art of making soap and bath bombs. Thank you guys for watching. Until the next video, keep smiling, keep being awesome, and I will see you in the next one where I will have Kale demo one of these shower steamers, and hopefully he won't sit on it like he did last year. Bye guys.